Hi, welcome all. Welcome to the Jyotish Light YouTube channel, a channel which aims to create better appreciation and awareness for the ancient astrology science of India called Jyotish, or the science of light. And really, the focus is to spend more time on practical hands-on examples, going through different birth charts, see how different themes manifest in people's lives, and really stay away from generalized pop sugar candy kind of astrology, which you hear a lot about everywhere. So that's our humble attempt, and as always, please keep giving us your positive encouragement, feedback if you find this of any value. Um, we hope to connect with fellow practitioners and students alike and exchange ideas, and that's how the hope is that the collective learning on this subject will grow. Now, for today's topic, um, as you would have seen some of my videos, I like to see things manifesting in charts, and I like to study how uh, people's lives have evolved based on certain factors or parameters that is found in the birth chart, and that requires me to constantly research on people's lives, try and find accurate sources of birth data so that charts can be analyzed and studied. And for this edition, I thought we can go through Leonardo DiCaprio's chart, and I'll straight away jump to the point in terms of why. You know, DiCaprio, since 1994, in a period of 20 years, has bought a lot of real estate property. And the notable mention being the island that he bought somewhere around 2005 time frame, which he aims to convert into an eco resort. And I found this really fascinating. This entire 20-year period spanned, as you see on the Excel here, the Rahu and the Jupiter major periods. And I was curious to know what would have brought about such events in Leo's life, as it shows in the birth chart. And so here's DiCaprio's birth chart, and I've got both the North Indian and the South Indian formats up for you. And so let us look at the two major periods, Rahu major period and Jupiter major period. And so I was really trying to understand why are they eligible to bring about so many developments in real estate transactions. And prima facie, if you look at Rahu in the D1 chart, then it doesn't seem to indicate as if it can bring about such events. As you know, that in the birth chart, the fourth house and the fourth lord signify real estate and property. In addition, we also look at Mars, which is the natural karaka for real estate and property. And Rahu seemed to have a more indirect connection, uh, as it was in the sign of Mars in Scorpio. So partially you can argue that it was giving the result of Mars as the natural karaka. But really, the clincher was in the division chart of property, which is the D4 chart that we see. And this is where I think some of the beginners might find this to be useful. Sometimes events show up purely in divisional charts, and Usually, there might be some indirect connection that you can make in the main birth chart, but events show up clearly in divisional charts. And I felt the Rahu major period was a classic example of that, wherein in the D4 chart, which pertains to property, Rahu is first of all having a source of strength because it's exalted. It is with the Lagna Lord of D4, which is Jupiter, who also happens to be the fourth Lord in D4. And so this entire Rahu period was very much eligible to bring about the property developments. Um, why Jupiter is the major period subsequently is more straightforward. Jupiter, as you know, in the main birth chart rules the fourth house, and it rules the Lagna and the fourth house in D4. And Jupiter is Vargottama, as it continues to be in Aquarius in the Navamsha, so it has a source of strength. And really, the entire Jupiter period bringing about property developments was quite obvious. And I just wanted to cover this as an example. He continues to buy properties, and we can go into some of the sub periods. The big one, which got my attention obviously was the island that he brought in 2005. And my sense is it would have been Jupiter Saturn, because if you look at Jupiter Saturn, then it sort of starts somewhere in the May 2005 timeframe. And Jupiter Saturn would have been so obvious because Saturn, as a sub-lord, aspects the fourth house, whereas Jupiter is the fourth lord. In D4, Saturn is in the fourth house in the sign of Jupiter, and Jupiter rules the fourth house. So this is pretty interesting how these two major periods have brought about a lot of developments in property and real estate, but for different reasons. Just to summarize, Rahu, not so evident in the D1 chart, but in D4 it becomes really evident because it's with the fourth lord and the Lagna lord exalted. And Jupiter is the fourth lord in D1 and continues to be the fourth lord and the Lagna lord in D4. So that was just a quick insight on how we look at divisional charts, how we look at uh, potential combinations to bring about developments in real estate and property. And I hope you found something useful in it. Please keep providing your feedback and kindly subscribe to the channel for more. Thank you so much.